Hello and welcome to part 3 of my first playthrough of GRIS. I'm Nat, and last time I went to the beautiful water area of the game, which was definitely probably my favorite part of the game so far. I'm kind of a sucker for like really beautiful atmospheric water zones in games, and this one didn't disappoint. It also had some really cool puzzle mechanics involving ice, and kind of like those mechanics where it kind of freezes your character and you have to like make platforms out of your frozen character's kind of visage. That was cool. So yeah, today, and then we ended up restoring the color yellow at the end of all that, and today I think I'm moving into the last leg of the game, so I'm expecting to finish the game this session, but it is a first playthrough, so I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. And I was speculating that kind of like what's going on in the story is it's kind of like a metaphorical representation of like losing something that's very important to you, like the most important thing. In this case, the character's singing voice, and kind of dealing with the fallout of that, and then kind of restoring color to your world in a sense, finding value in your life again. And in the case of this game, the character literally restoring color to their world. That's kind of how I'm reading it anyway, so I'm curious to see how it's going to wrap up. Okay, so let's continue. It's kind of a long load. I was a little worried. It's so pretty. The hub looks so cool now. I love like kind of the nighttime vibes of it. Yeah, I still think we can't backtrack anywhere. Yeah. What's if we try to go back to the water? Oh yeah, we can swim now. Oh, it's just blocked off. Okay. Oh. Onward we go. Yeah, it's good of the game. It just wants you to keep moving forward. It's just strange it also has these kind of collectibles that you just can't go back for. I kind of feel like the design there is kind of at odds with itself, I feel like. I was kind of talking about that last time. I question if it even kind of needs those collectibles, or if it would just be better to not have anything kind of distracting from everything else. Look at like the wavy clouds. It's like they're like the watercolor clouds. It's almost like it's like watercolor paint that's kind of still wet, or like being like kind of affected by water. I don't know, that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's kind of a funny little tree there. So yeah, I'm wondering maybe after you finish the game you can go back and get those collectibles, but I don't know. Oh, and this is like connected. This looks so cool. I love those footstep noises. Really good footsteps in this game. I keep saying that, but I love it. And there is a thing down beneath here in the middle where it looks like those collectibles unlock something, so we'll see. Alright, so here's like the yellow chapter. We're going up to the sky. Looks like an hourglass, maybe? Or like two towers together. Whoa. New mechanic. This game kind of reminds me of like Eco, the game Eco, in a sense. It's very minimalist for one thing. There's no HUD or anything. Very little on-screen prompts and stuff like that. And it's kind of built on like a small handful of mechanics that it just kind of like builds on through the game. And that was something I always kind of admired about the design of Eco. Um, and kind of other games that like that game inspired and stuff. So it's like a little firefly following me. I'm a big fan of like big fan of like minimalism in games. So it's gonna make like stairways appear as the mechanic. Hmm. Oh, right. I love going up to like this starry like world in the skies. It's so cool. It's like ambience is really interesting too. I love all the sparkling stars. It's just such a nice looking game. Such a beautiful, clean aesthetic. Cool. Again, it's not just the visuals. I mentioned this, I think, the last time too. It's oh, cool. I wonder if you'll fall there if it disappears. That was like a cool way to teach that. In like a relatively kind of safe way. What's to the left though? Curious what's to the left. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, I think I mentioned that the audio design is really good in this game, and it's that and the visuals are a highlight both. The way they work together, even just the way the music is like starting subtly. Okay, well I think I missed something up there, so that's what kind of bums me out. I probably missed like a collectible way up there. I should have kept going. It's hard to know like what the right way to go is and what's optional. Oh well. Yeah, and it won't really be an issue if I can go back later. Uh, I kind of admire they just kind of wanted to keep pushing you forward and not get hung up on that, but again, maybe in that case they didn't need the collectibles, like I said. But it'll be interesting if you just kind of have to replay the whole game to get everything. I mean, it's a really nice, relaxing game. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to play it again. And it's not too long, probably, but we'll see. I really like the characters' run animation too. They like such a nice like bounce in their step and stuff. It's like, is this like mixing all the colors, kinda? Because it's like red coming in. And we have like water mechanics like in the previous level. Oh, I see. So the music is so good, God. Okay, up or to the right? Looks like, oh, there's a platform here. I'll try going up first. I can't. Okay. I wonder why there's two. Oh. Oh no, I didn't want to. Oh, can you dismiss them and... Interesting. Oh, I think they respawn there. But if you do that, they go away. Okay. I guess you just scare them off. I see, okay. So I think that's kind of teaching you that, yeah, you can't do the cube stomp, or you'll get rid of your little firefly friend. And once again, this chapter has like a new, I brought up last time, every chapter kind of has like a different companion. There was the big turtle friend from the water area that I loved, and the little cube friend from the forest area, and kind of like the rock creatures in the first red area, and now there's these little fireflies. So it feels like a very like solitary, kind of lonely game, but at the same time, there is kind of this thread of like companionship. Okay, see. Oh, so cool looking. I thought for sure this was an optional secret. Like, it just seemed like that to me, but once again, I missed something to the left, so... This looks so gorgeous. So pretty. Can I go through there? Nope. I love they're still using the water mechanics. I thought they might like go away after the last chapter. Which would be a little bit of a shame because they're just really fun. The swimming's really fun in this. I mean, I'd be okay with it, but this looks cool. I think it's they're incorporating it into this level as well in a way that feels really organic, which is nice. almost look like a little like miniature kind of. I almost look like miniature here. Like I'm in this kind of. All these like potted plants look like kind of like gigantic compared to me and stuff. Like I'm walking around kind of this giant's garden or something. That looks so cool. That flower. Thought I could land on that. Whoops. Oh no. I love these moments when the camera just kind of zooms out and gives you this beautiful scene. Oh, cool. Oh, anti-gravity? Cool. Makes me think of Sonic, the old Sonic games. Yeah, I said earlier in one of the earlier parts, I wish it zoomed out more, so I know it's like ironic I'm saying that now, but I do like the moments when it really zooms out and gives you this gorgeous scene. And the only reason I want it to zoom in more is just so I can get a closer eye on the gorgeous art. Whenever it does that, I can just appreciate it all the more. But it is like designed around it having it zoomed out most of the time. It's cool doing that like backwards. The high jump with the butterflies. That like little animation and effect on like the thread that reverses the gravity looks really nice too. Again, it's like the animation, the art design, and the sound design are all just top notch, right? That's fun. That's really clever. Like the way you need to like retrain your brain to do that, to do like a double jump to make it over here, like upside down is really interesting. See a collectible over there. I just noticed they make a sound when you're near it too. Yeah, this is like combining all the mechanics. The swimming, like the lighting up trees, the little butterflies. It's kind of giving like a final level kind of feeling. So cool looking. I think this is probably my favorite. I said this about the water level. I think this might be my favorite level aesthetically now. It's combining like the gorgeous water stuff with this like celestial like palace in the heavens and the stars. It's just really cool. I like these little peacocks too. And the word I'd use to describe this game is peaceful, right? Yeah, there's like action in it. You know, there's some puzzle solving and jumping around and all that, but you know, there's no combat, there's no like violence, the whole vibe. There's drama going on, you know, there's some emotional drama going on with the character kind of being pursued by this shadow creature earlier, but it still is just a very peaceful, calming game, which I really appreciate. And games have like so much potential to fill that kind of niche and that type of experience, right? Video games, the cliche is they're often like thought of as always like action packed, right? That's kind of what they, you know, sort of started as in a way back in the day. But there's so much potential for them to just be kind of these zen, kind of relaxing experiences too. And obviously, we have a lot of games like that uh, now, but I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like I feel like maybe we could still use more kind of like platformers like this, where it's just kind of like not action focused, but just very kind of zen and calming. Games that kind of like take elements of other genres like platformers and stuff, but you know, I'm not like fighting enemies as I go and so on. There's not like a ton of super intense puzzle solving. It's mainly focused on being this calming, peaceful experience, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that about it. Kind of do a dolphin jump. I like how they do a little like backflip in the air too. Where did I get those little butterflies? feel like I just had some of the little red butterflies, but I just... Oh, there they are. Okay. Again, sometimes on the camera being so zoomed out, kind of miss stuff. Is it up there, I wonder? Or no, you probably just go up here. I'm overthinking it. I'm always checking for like false walls when this is kind of like an extra little space to go to there. I love the colors on these, like the purplish like flowers hanging down mixed with the green and everything. Looks really nice. Let's check here first. Oh, nothing. The pillars you can pass through are clear. I kind of keep like thinking I can pass through other ones because they're still semi-transparent, so it's like it's fine. It's not like a big deal. I just feel like maybe it could be a little more visually clear. It is clear. It's just like it's like the building on the right is still semi-transparent, and obviously the ones you can pass through are like super clear and transparent, but I don't know. It's just sometimes I can think that I can pass through the other ones. Oh. Oh. Like there. I keep trying. I think something just my brain is like tricking me. I can see some red things over there. I'm also just like looking for secrets everywhere. I'm always like worried I'm gonna miss a secret, and again, that's kind of the issue. It's just like, uh, maybe it'd be better if I'm just gonna try to just like vibe with the level, because I'm probably gonna inevitably miss some of them anyway. So, gotta try to not worry about it too much. There's one. Yeah, they like disappear when you leave the water. I don't think I can even get in there. I don't know how I would get in there though. Maybe from like underneath or something. Probably go... No, how does this work? Oh, wait, maybe... If I just fall, maybe... No, it doesn't work that way. Why does it let me go in here? Oh, they did transfer. Okay, because usually they evaporate as soon as you're out of the water. Oh, because there's a... I see, there's a little connecting waterfall. Got it. I kind of keep forgetting you can swim up those. Because these cubes are like, they have like an outline around them, but the waterfalls don't. So it's kind of like separating them in my mind. Okay, so we're just going to go like that. Nope, almost. That was fun. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's actually, that was the goal. That wasn't a secret. I kind of keep getting like the actual like things you need to collect and like the secret optional little circles. I get them kind of mixed up. Oh shit, she's getting her voice back. That's so cool. What a cool mechanic. Wow. I guess I should have guessed that they're gonna make the singing like a mechanic in the end. That makes a lot of sense. I will say, I really like how it's... I'm a little torn, I guess. I was gonna say it's a little anticlimactic, that it's like, oh, we can suddenly just sing again, and that was like the whole point of the game. Was like the character losing their voice, and now they can suddenly sing again. But at the same time, I kind of like that it's kind of subtle. And it's not like there's a big cutscene where they suddenly start singing a lot. It's like we're getting that moment and the impact of the importance of that through the gameplay. Like, just immediately turning it into this mechanic we start using. So I kind of like that aspect of it, if that makes sense. So the impact of it is going to come from me using it as a mechanic now, as opposed to just like a big cutscene kind of introducing it. So it looks like it's like making stuff grow back. Is that what it's doing? Can we sing as a cube? No. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, okay, it makes like flowers bloom. And that makes these little guys appear. Just like listening to the song. I want to see if she sings like a full song. Okay, that probably blooms. Oh yeah, there's a big tree. Maybe that was where I got the singing back. I remember there was a big tree that looked like this that I thought was gonna like bloom at some point. Really cool. Can we make this bloom? Can we sing underwater? Nope. I don't really know where I'm going, but I'm just going. Sometimes the level design is like that in this game. You just kind of keep roaming around and just find your way. I mean, it's pretty linear mostly, but still. Those birds are funny. They're kind of like circles with like part of the circle cut out. Oh, it's disappearing. Oh no. Oh no. Get it. Oh, just in time. They probably like timed that perfectly. Going down. I think we're just going backwards, I think, maybe. It's cool you can just do that. There was a way to the left. It looks like that might lead to a secret down there. Yeah, was this what I was? No, I think this is new. Okay, I think I just missed the secret. Okay. Whatever. This is gonna be cool. Really cool little puzzle using the anti-gravity, the singing. And I guess we can get over here now. Really cool. I love those moments when you jump in reverse gravity at the same time and then have to double jump at the last second. It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like brain bending, but it's really interesting and cool. The ring that comes out when they sing is kind of like the title screen too. I also noticed if you sing when you're walking, I guess they just stop it. For a second, it looked like they kind of like slid into the singing. It's just kind of the animation, though. Look at this, so cool. It almost looks like all the colors mixing. Like you can see yellow or red, like kind of purplish, kind of green at the top, maybe on the left. It's kind of like a nebula in the middle. I was saying earlier the game could be read as like losing something important to you and then learning to move on after, but I'm thinking maybe it could also be about, or instead be about, how things like, you know, depression or trauma or hardship of some kind can kind of affect someone's creativity and like their creative muse, so to speak. And that could be what kind of the beginning represented with the characters singing and being in kind of this safe world, kind of being like cradled in kind of the palm of this kind of giant, like godlike figure. And then all that crumbling away and all the color draining from their worlds. So it could be more of like a journey of kind of finding their kind of creative muse again and kind of still coming out of that spiral, but and finding kind of joy in life again and meeting kind of all these friends and these new people and like you know, eventually finding their voice again, you know, their passion, finding their creativity. And that would fit in with like the whole like color theme and how artistic, like, you know, literally art or visually artistically beautiful the game is. It could just be a game like about art, right? About finding your creativity again and so on. And as like a creative person, like that's definitely, you know, like a place, you know, I've been in. How, you know, you can kind of go in and out of kind of being creatively inspired. So I think this is like, it could be kind of like a representation of that, which is cool. The way there's such like an impact when the circle kind of expands outward. I love how like impactful it is and all the animation on the characters' clothes and stuff. It really feels like kind of triumphant in a way. Um, so let's go. Can make that flower bloom on the right now, I bet. Oh. Wait. Oh no, did I miss my chance? I thought falling just took you back to where I was. Man, that's a bummer. I really wanted to make that big flower on the right bloom. Again, it's just unclear sometimes, like I didn't think this was like the path to go. I thought the path to go was to the right. It seemed more like special over that way. I don't know, to put it, for lack of a better way to put it. But, oh well. Just gotta go with the flow in this game. Am I going backwards? Haven't I done this, like... I think I'm going backwards. This is strange. What's happening here? I think I just went backwards. That's odd that they kind of let you do that. Usually they very much like point of no return you. Yeah, I'm all the way back here. This is weird. I just went backwards. I mean, I was complaining earlier that, you know, you can't usually backtrack to find secrets, so... I guess you technically kinda can here, maybe, but I don't know if there's any secrets around. But again, I do kind of understand why they do that, because the game is like... It feels very designed around just continuing to move forward, and they want you to kind of experience like the forward progression of the story and the... It's very visually... It's very much like visual storytelling, and they want you to experience that and not like... Going backwards kind of breaks up that flow. So I can see why they might lock until after you finish the game, kind of backtracking. If that's going to be a thing. Whoops. Did I just do it again? I think we're good. So I think last time I went to the right. Yeah, I want to go to that flower on the right. I just gotta not fall again. Okay, here we go. There is a secret up here, huh? Oh. Okay. Okay, cool. I feel like that's the first one of those I found in this area. And it doesn't even do anything. Okay, I guess it's already bloomed. Really cool. Oh, we're missing... We're missing 2 of them, it looks like. Okay. There it is. There's the thing I was thinking of. Hmm. There's something up there. I guess we'll go the other way first. Whoa. Cool. What a strange, interesting game. All these strange creatures. Again, it's just so dreamlike, which I love. I love anything that feels like dreamy and surreal. Or has kind of like a dream theme or dreamlike theme. This looks so cool. That's so beautiful. Like the way the water is kind of like mixing with the yellow in the back to make kind of like a pale green. Oh. Oh yeah. The anti-gravity still keeps catching me off guard. Something up there. I bet you get one of those little like achievements, those in-game achievements if you make every flower bloom. Kind of like bringing this energy back to life that's kind of animating these things. It's interesting. I do wonder if there's some kind of logic or story to this world. Because I've been thinking of the whole game as kind of just kind of metaphorical and symbolic, but I shouldn't just assume that, you know. It's just a very interesting, strange world. So cool. I love those big fish. They kind of look like streamers or something, the wavy ones. going. I thought this was an optional path. Nope, this is the right way. Okay. Oh, maybe not. I guess I could go that way. Let's try going this way. It does feel like this level is kind of more open than the others. There's like backtracking and stuff, which is interesting. Feels like a departure. I mean, there was a little bit of that. There'd be one of those big open sections where there's several little like stars you need to collect off to the sides, but nothing quite as... This one feels like a bit more like kind of challenging to navigate, I guess. By stars, I mean the little... I'm thinking of them as like constellation stars. It seems like that's what they are. Kind of the main little collectibles of the game. I feel like all the misty kind of look here. I think that's it. So this was just an optional route. I was actually right for once. Yeah, it's interesting how all the buildings are kind of like translucent, at least in this area. Like semi-translucent. It adds to that kind of dreamy, kind of airy feeling. Kind of like ethereal, if that's the right word. I think we needed 2, did we? I'm not sure if I got 2. We'll see. I was like gushing over at the first part of this, but just the animation when they turn and stuff, and the bouncy feeling of their walk. I love it. See, I see like red, blue. It's kind of like the title screen colors, actually, a little bit. Maybe the title screen kind of mixes the 4 main colors of the game, which is red, green, yellow. Yeah, red, green, blue, and yellow. I kind of don't like that they give you the big, like, hold A prompt, but... Because I knew I had to sing. Like, I knew it's kind of obvious you have to sing here. But, whatever, I get it. It is cool that... I've gotten, like, a new ability in each level. Like, I got the cube in the first level, and then the double jump in the forest, and then swimming, and then singing finally, which is appropriate for what's maybe the final level. I did think an action would be tied to X, at least X on the Switch Pro controller. I'm using the top button, but maybe not. It's also cool, I was thinking like all the levels are in like the 4 cardinal directions. Like the red level, you go to the right, green is to the left, blue is down, and then yellow finally is up. So yeah. Okay, well, let's do it. I only got 2 in that level. Two of the collectibles, I mean. I knew it. I was like, yeah, here comes the shadow thing. Oh shit. It's me, maybe? It's being dragged down again into despair. Right when you're about to get to the top. And it's so like interesting how like just like the absence of all color, the way the game uses that to represent kind of like the characters' low points or their lowest point. The whole like moth or butterfly motif is interesting. I wonder what like that's like kind of supposed to represent. Yeah, and there's like all these statues around of like these women. It's interesting. I don't know if that's like has to do with like the lore of the world, or it's again another symbolic thing. Yeah, in a game all about color, it's so interesting to be. I mean, the game kind of started like that too, but it just having like a world absent of color. And so this is like one of the hands. Is this where it started? such a beautiful sequence. I'm tearing up. Like, man, that music really hits. Yeah, it really feels like it's about like this character's like creative, finding their creative muse again. I kind of feel like that's what the statue represents, and kind of like really pushing through kind of that period of despair. And that's it. Cool. Hmm. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling you were kind of just gonna like go up and up and up, and then it was gonna be credits. Kudos to all these artists, man. Seriously. Animators, of course. I mean, the whole team, obviously. But shout out to the vocals too, like whoever sang. I think they said it earlier in the credits. Who kind of like sang the songs. Man, video games are so cool, aren't they? So many many cool experiences out there. So much diversity and everything. I kind of like they give like their website there. Why not? I mean, they're like probably like a smaller indie studio. You know, shout yourself out. The end. You can now load previous chapters and visit the gallery at the extras menu. Okay. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's how you redo levels then, is by kind of like going by chapter. Uh, let's check it out. So yeah, I think kind of my reading of this game is it's I feel like it's maybe I'm just kind of this is how I'm reading it as someone who's like, you know, kind of like a creative type myself and kind of like an artist myself and a writer and stuff. But yeah, I think it's about art. You know, I think it's about kind of losing your creative muse or your creative voice, and that was kind of what happened at the beginning. And the big statue kind of represents their muse almost falling apart, them kind of all the color leaving their life and their world, and then kind of like going on a journey to kind of like refresh themselves, like meeting new people, going to new places, and then you know, eventually finding that voice again. We see them like try to sing in the blue chapter, the third level, and they can't quite do it yet, and then kind of the despair creeps in again and chases them. And then like one of their friends helps them out, the turtle, and that was like a really beautiful sequence that stands out. And then yeah, eventually finding the voice again, and kind of like at the last second, you know, like can they get there, and it all kind of collapses, and then they just keep pushing through in the end, even though they're like still kind of struggling or having trouble, even though like all the darkness is enveloping them. And I kind of knew that was going to happen, they were going to like burst through it. They kind of kept going no matter what. Well, then the statue kind of like seems to like, you know, help them, or starts singing itself, you know. And it's kind of like they're kind of, you know, it's like a really just such a touching moment. They kind of, it's like a friend to them, and you know, they give it like a little kiss and stuff, which is cute. Like I just feel like it's like your creative muse, you know, they got back and repaired, and then they just all along were just trying to journey back upward, you know, out of this kind of funk they were in. So yeah, I just kind of feel like it was all just kind of like symbolic. This was all kind of like a very dreamy world. So that's my reading on the game. I have no idea if that was the intention of the developers, but you know, I think regardless if you're gonna like take a meaning out of it or not, I think this was a really cool game. You know, it's just like really peaceful, um, calming, kind of zen journey. I thought the music was really gorgeous. It really fit the gameplay well. The mechanics were all fun. You know, I didn't feel like they were like the focus, but there was like a lot of cool little design elements. I think the stuff that kind of like impressed me the most was like those ice puzzles in the water level, and the anti-gravity stuff. You know, I've seen that in games before, but the way it was handled here, being represented by like a string in the middle, you kind of like toggle up and down between. I thought that was a really cool way to do it. So those were kind of like the mechanical highlights, I would say. Um, I thought the ending, I thought that was like such a beautiful, gorgeous sequence, but it was kind of like my criticism earlier of like the turtle part, how like it wasn't very interactive. I feel like all of like the really most of them, I won't say all, because there was the sequence where you're running away from the bird that was completely interactive, but a lot of like the big climactic moments weren't that interactive. It would have been cool if um, you know, in the finale, like the climax, it was more like I kind of pressed the A button to sing, and then it just takes off, and it was wonderful to watch and everything. And again, I said I was tearing up and all that, but I would have liked it if I like was actively like holding down the A button longer to like keep singing as I'm seeing all the levels return to life. Like at the very least, something like that. Just something a little more like feeling like I'm a part of like the experience. But it's all like gorgeously animated. But I'm comparing it to some other games, like kind of slight, not like, just vague kind of spoilers for the game Celeste. I'm not going to say anything specific, but just some of this kind of reminded me of that in a way. But in that game is so brilliant because it's all interactive, and you really feel what's like happening to the character and all that, and really like are in their shoes, because it really takes advantage of like the fully advantage of like the medium of games to like tell the story through the gameplay and all that. So um I think there's some overlap in themes, I feel like, between these two games, so I'm kind of like comparing it to that. But they're still different games, and I still think like the art design and the animation and all that was incredibly impactful in this, and really something to behold. Um, so yeah, so I would say like the end was maybe like slightly anticlimactic because of what I said, but it was still, I was kind of like maybe there'd be like one final kind of level. There kind of was, but it was kind of like brief, kind of just that climb upwards. But it was still a really, really gorgeous sequence that still hit. So yeah, I like this game a lot. I wouldn't say it like blew me away, but it was just like a really chill, just really nice game with, uh, I think like if it's kind of about what I was saying, it's about like about art and finding your muse. Like that's a really cool thing to make a game about. And yeah, definitely the art design and the sound design and stuff were the animation were the highlights for me. So let's check out what extras. We got chapters, gallery, music. Oh, music, cool. Okay, so you got like the tower-ish level. I still think that looks like a computer mouse, but I think it's like a windmill or something in this world. So they each had 3 chapters. That's cool. That's a cool like thumbnail because it's like all the colors. Oh, cool. Can you like zoom in or anything? I wonder. Maybe not. I wonder if this was like an early art style, or it seems more like maybe it's like conceptual stuff. And then you see it like coming together. I think I was kind of subconsciously thinking this earlier, that the aesthetic of like the trees and stuff was kind of reminding me of another game. And this is going to sound weird. It's kind of a surprising game, but it's Super Paper Mario for Wii, which I think is a really cool game. I love the classic Paper Mario games. It kind of has that kind of like trees that look like that have like the cubes like that. Uh, Another very, very strange game with a lot of like surreal environments. That's why I loved it. Kind of going too fast through these. That's cool. Their outfit looks different. The design. I love this art. I love like all this hand-drawn art. Like I think if the style of the game was kind of like this, I think that could have been really cool as well. Obviously the end game is beautiful, but are they like they're almost maybe they're like more like paintings, but there is kind of like it looks kind of like pencil work and stuff. Such like a resting image. These giant, this is like a giant image of like a human figure, It's just like really impactful. So they're gonna have her be like different colors, I see. Probably, I bet like as you cleared the worlds, maybe like more color would come back to their outfit. I like the shade of the second from the right, kind of that shade of like purple, I think it is. People say I'm technically a little colorblind. I get like greens and blues mixed up sometimes and stuff, so it might not have been purple. That one on the lower left is like, it's kind of wild looking. It's so billowy and stuff. Hugging the little cube friend. That's cool looking. I'm like trying to read the text. I'm not sure where the dev's from. It might have said in the credits, but yeah, I'm not positive what language it is. I love seeing stuff like this, like level maps. That's like a concept of like that's like the whole world pretty much. Well, not literally, but like a concept of like the whole world with the underground water area, kind of the rocky wasteland to the right, the forest to the left. That's really cool. Yeah, that's like the whole world. I always love games that are just kind of relatively short with kind of like a small world that's really like special, where like every environment is unique. These are unused, okay. So these are all like unused songs. Yeah, the soundtrack was, it's like, maybe not the type of soundtrack I'd listen to outside the game, but it like really fit the game really well. It was just like such a vibe. I really loved it. I mean, maybe I would just like while doing other stuff. Um, it's like that kind of soundtrack. It'd be good for like doing like art and stuff too, or writing. Really cool. Village birds, frequency. Yeah, I'll probably listen to those on my own and kind of just like vibe with them. Um, I didn't want to. So where does continue place you? I wonder. Kind of stuttered there for a second. Okay, so this is just right before the final sequence. And then you can look at chapters here. That's cool. I never looked at the settings. Sing jump heavy. Yeah, I just love the minimalist and all that. Minimalism, I should say. So yeah, it's just the volume. That's kind of a cool way to represent it. And something I wanted to look at was this challenges. So yeah, these are all the achievements. So I'm still missing a lot, it looks like. Cool. Oh. I did want to check if all the areas, I'm guessing they are, if they're all still locked off. Yeah, so I think that led to the first level, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe not. No, the first level was down here. It's all like orange and stuff now. Yeah. Yeah, so these are still locked off. So I want to go check that thing in the center and see exactly how many of the collectibles I'm missing. So like the sparkles in the sky. I guess they're stars, but they're also kind of like... It looks like they're kind of like moving with me. And they're kind of like in the foreground, so it's kind of interesting. Might just be like a glittery effect or something. Alright, so I'm still missing quite a lot. 13, I think. So I think what I might do... You can kind of hear like the faint singing. Oh, do you do this? I'm guessing when you get them all, you probably sing or something. Yeah, it's cool. You can hear like this overlapping singing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end part 3 here, and the finale here. Is there something at the top? No, it's weird that I almost said triangle. The diamond doesn't have like a top. Like this continue new game and extras and nothing at the top. Maybe something unlocks. So yeah, I'm gonna like officially call the playthrough here. I might go back and just on my own time go back to the different chapters and try to find all the collectibles. And if maybe if that unlocks something. really cool at the end. Like if I go back to that middle area and like it unlocks like an extra ending or something, and then I might record that and maybe post like a bonus, kind of like a final bonus little part to the playthrough, like my reaction to whatever that bonus ending is or whatever. If it's something like minor, like it just unlocks like extra artwork or something, I probably won't do that. I'll probably just, call it here. So, so yeah, so we'll see. But, officially, this is, the conclusion of the playthrough. So yeah, I really enjoyed this game. Um, Again, I don't think it was like super, super mind blowing, but I do think it was like, absolutely like 100% worth playing, especially because it's like really short too. Definitely a game I'd recommend this game to pretty much like everyone because I think it's really accessible too. It doesn't have any combat. Like the puzzles are pretty. There was one in the ice area that really tripped me up, but they're still pretty light. It's mostly just about kind of the traversal and just vibing with the world, and I think it has kind of like a cool premise and kind of like subtext going on, at least the way I read it, like finding kind of your muse and everything. And I don't think it can necessarily be read as applying only to artists. I think like the creators of this game are clearly very artistic, so I think maybe they were possibly thinking that, but I think any kind of funk you fall into or losing something important or kind of like trying to rediscover something special that you enjoy, that can be a lot of things, and I think the game can kind of be read a number of different ways, which is really cool. And besides all that, it's just a fun game. It's just like a fun, chill experience. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Thank you so much for joining me for Greece, and I'm glad I finally played it. And it was cool to go into this knowing nothing, pretty much nothing at all, except it had very beautiful art direction. So it was a very minimalist, kind of subtle game too. So it felt very dreamlike, and it just felt like I had this kind of like beautiful dream, and that's really cool. Yeah, again, games are just so cool. They do so many different things, and I just always love experiencing a new game I know little about. But yeah, thanks again for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and take care.